Last year I reviewed the OnePlus 5T and it was one of my favorite smartphones, mostly because I thought it gave you pretty good high-end specs at a very good price. And this year is no exception. When they just released this, it's the OnePlus 6, and it has some pretty high-end specs such as a Snapdragon 845, AMOLED display, overall nice looks. And I just took delivery of it about a week ago and I've been putting it through its paces ever since. Hey everybody, it's Andrew and this is my review of the OnePlus 6. Coming up. Want to see more videos like this? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Of course, don't forget to hit that notification icon letting you know every time I post a new video. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter to get all the latest updates. The OnePlus 6 starts at $529, which is an excellent starting price for a flagship smartphone with flagship specs. Now for that entry-level price, you get 6 GB of RAM and only 64 GB of onboard storage, and it only comes in the mirror black finish. For $50 more, I decided to go with the midnight black finish with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of onboard storage. And it also comes in a pretty sleek looking silk white. I like that one as well. Now packaging is pretty much just like you'd get with the 5 and the 5T from last year. It's pretty premium in my opinion. The red and white packaging and overall presentation looks really good. Now opening the box, you're greeted by the unit itself, and holding it for the first time, you realize once again, this is a premium flagship smartphone. I'm happy to say that. Feels good in the hands, and with that 19:9 aspect ratio this year, it's a little bit bigger. It has a 6.28-inch display, so it's a little bit of a bigger form factor this time around. Now I like the fact that they do include a clear case in the box. I think that's a really nice touch, especially at a $529 starting price. That's really good. And of course you get your charging cable, which you'll need to use with the dash charger, which is also supplied in the box. Gives you that fast charging. Of course you cannot use a third-party brand if you want to get those really fast dash charging times. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. Now this has a dual SIM tray, and this is a GSM phone, so in the United States you can use it on AT&T, T-Mobile. Now you can use it on Project Fi if you have an activated Project Fi SIM. You will need a supported phone to activate it, but if you already have an activated phone, it works fine, works flawlessly, utilizing the T-Mobile network. Now as far as buttons are concerned, they're all metal. They feel really good. On the left side you have your volume rocker up and down along with that dual SIM tray. On the right side you have your power button along with a slider that allows you to put into mute or vibration mode. I like to have that handy convenience. Now as far as ports are concerned, you'll be happy to know this has a 3.5mm headphone jack, something we don't see very often, and you have your USB-C port. That's where you charge your device. And you have a mono speaker. There's no dual speakers on this. The earpiece does not act as another speaker as you find on other phones such as the iPhone X. That's not the case here, just that lone mono speaker. Powering the OnePlus 6 is the Snapdragon 845 processor. That's certainly the 2018 flagship processor, and it has a 6.28-inch optic AMOLED display covered in Gorilla Glass 5, and this year it has a 19:9 aspect ratio. And taking a page from Apple, this has the notch. Yes, I'm not kidding. They copied Apple in that regard. I'm not sure if I like it or I hate it. I know some people certainly hate it. Some people may not care. I seem to be in the middle. The good news is OnePlus gives you the option to turn it off. And one of the big selling points of the OnePlus 6 is its optic AMOLED display. It's 6.28 inches as I stated. It's a 2280 by 1080 resolution. That's 402 pixels per inch, and it has an 83.8% screen to body ratio. And it's a pretty bright display at 458 nits, although it's not the brightest flagship out there. However, it is good for both indoor and outdoor use. Now this being an optic AMOLED display, you're going to get those deep inky blacks and the very vibrant punchy colors. This certainly is no exception, and I think the display is certainly one of its best selling points and its strongest suits. Now performance on the OnePlus 6 is very good. Now they built this around speed. That's thanks to its Snapdragon 845 processor and the fact that you can get it with up to 8 GB of RAM. That certainly helps. And as you can see from these Geekbench 4 results, it's in line with other flagships, if not even better. Only the iPhone X beat it in the multi-core score. It handled pretty much everything I threw at it with relative ease. Performance on this was very good. Gaming was certainly high-end, especially with the fact that it does have that 845 Snapdragon and those 8 gigabytes of RAM. That certainly helped. And this was evidenced by the fact that it beat out all of its competition in the Antutu benchmark. That's pretty good. The OnePlus 6 sports a 3300 mAh battery, and here's how it did against its competition. It did 9 hours and 19 minutes on the web browsing test, beat out by the Huawei P20 and the Mate 10 Pro as well. But it did better on the video playback test and during 14 hours and 27 minutes, beating out most of the competition, but not all. Check it out on this chart. The good news is, if you do have to plug in, it charges really fast. That's thanks to its dash charger. It gives you a 60% charge in around 30 minutes, 100% charge around an hour and 15 minutes. That's pretty good. But of course, you will need to use a supplied dash charger and cable to get those speeds. Now, this year's OnePlus 6 has a glass back. Unfortunately, they decided not to put in wireless charging, a bit of a miss in my opinion. Now, once again, OnePlus employs a dual camera setup on the back, a 16 megapixel main shooter and a 20 megapixel secondary shooter. But this time around, the secondary shooter is strictly for shallow depth of field. That's it, so not much of a value added there, although it does produce some pretty decent photographs with a nice blurred background effect, but it's not the best I've ever seen, to be honest. I thought in good lighting conditions it produced some really nice photos. In low lit situations it wasn't too bad, although I've seen better on more higher end flagships such as the iPhone X or the Pixel 2 XL, but overall I thought the portrait mode is pretty good. Now, as far as the quality of the video, it can shoot 4K video, 60 frames per second. It has optical image stabilization, so that's good to see. I was really overall impressed with it. This is certainly a phone you can definitely take some video with. I'm happy to say that. There's a 16 megapixel front-facing camera. Let's see it in action. So this is the front-facing camera on the OnePlus 6. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. I actually think it's pretty good. I'm overall impressed with the camera so far of the OnePlus 6, but I'm curious to know what you think. Leave a comment in that comment section below. Although I would have preferred stereo speakers, the mono speaker actually gets pretty loud. There is a hint of bass. I thought overall sound was pretty good. Now let's hear it in action. Now this has a dual SIM tray, and this is a GSM phone, so in the United States you can use it on AT&T, T-Mobile. Now you can use it on Project Fi if you have an activated Project Fi SIM. You will need a supported phone to activate it, but if you already have an activated phone, it works fine, works flawlessly, utilizing the T-Mobile network. The front-facing camera supports facial unlock and it works really fast. The fingerprint sensor is located on the back, in the middle. Placement is very good, worked well, setup was easy, and registered my finger pretty much every time I used it. If you're willing to spend $550 on a phone, but you don't want to spend more, then the OnePlus 6 is where your search starts and ends. For this kind of money, you just can't find a better combination of specs, hardware, features, camera, software, and performance. It's a great phone that absolutely nails the basics, but also goes beyond your expectations in many other ways. I love its display. The Optic AMOLED display is really good. I like the Snapdragon 845. Overall performance is excellent and really good build quality. The one big negative, I guess, if you want to call it that, is the fact that it doesn't have wireless charging, despite the fact that it does have a glass back. Of course, that is a cost-cutting measure that OnePlus had to employ to keep this at the $550 price point. Of course, if you're willing to spend more money, there are better flagships out there, but if you want to stay in this $550 or so range, there is no better option in my opinion. It's one of the best in this price range, that's for sure. So what do you think about the OnePlus 6? I really do like it. I think at $529 starting price, you're looking at some pretty flagship specs at a good value. I think you're getting some really high-end features such as the Snapdragon 845. You have that all-glass back, but you don't get that wireless charging. I think that's a bit of a miss on OnePlus's part, although you do get the dash charger in the box, which charges at about 60% in 30 minutes. Hour and 15 minutes for a total charge. That's pretty good. But again, you can't use that third-party chargers on this. You have to use the dash charger included in the box as well as the cable. So I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of the OnePlus 6? Are you going to pick one up? Have you picked one up? If so, let me know how it's been working out for you. Now, we will be seeing the OnePlus 6T probably in a few months based on history. So that's another negative in a sense because you don't want to pick this up just yet when you know the 6T is coming down the road. So that's something also to keep in mind. But getting back to this device, I think it pretty much checks all the boxes you'd want. But I really do like it. But I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know in the comment section below. So please hit the like button, please subscribe, please share this video. Don't forget to leave a comment in that comment section below. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if there's a device or something out there you think I should review. Of course, I'll do my best to try to make that happen. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and of course our website, amdtechreviews.com. So until next time, this is Andrew from AMD Tech. See ya.